Hey Whitman College, I'm Liz Stroh, I'm your AFLAC rep, and we are in your open enrollment time. So I wanted to prepare a short video for you guys to explain your benefits, give you kind of a reminder that you have access to AFLAC, and yeah, so all right, without further ado, I like to start with what AFLAC is not to kind of explain what it is. So AFLAC's not your health insurance. Your health insurance pays your doctors and your hospitals. It leaves you with your co-payments and deductibles. AFLAC is called supplemental insurance. And what that means is that we pay you directly when you have a covered incident occur. You can use those cash payments however you need, whether you're using them to pay your portion of the treatment plan, your co-payments and deductibles, or using them to pay for living expenses, subsidizing lost earnings during that time of need. So whether you're using your cash benefits from AFLAC to pay your doctors or pay your mortgage, it's really no one's business but yours. So that's what it's designed for, though, is so that you have access to cash benefits during that time of need so that you stay financially afloat, okay? All right, so AFLAC, we, unlike health insurance where everything's kind of bundled, if you have an accident, if you have a cancer diagnosis, if you have a baby, if you need a knee replacement, all of those things are bundled up together in your health insurance. We separate them all out, and we do so that it stays relevant for what your needs are, and it also keeps it cost effective for you so that you can pick up just what you're interested in and leave the rest behind. Okay, so let's talk about those individual policies. So the accident policy is our most popular policy. 24-hour coverage on and off the job. You can cover your kids, you can cover your significant other, you don't have to be legally married. So it's 24-hour coverage. So you're going to rethink the word accident. Oftentimes we find that people think, oh, I don't really have any accidents, because they're thinking more catastrophic things. You're going to start to rethink it once you have an accident policy, and you're going to think, how can I make that an accident? So case in point, I like to give examples here. Let's say you're chewing on a hard piece of candy and you break a tooth. That's an accident. Let's say that you missed that bottom step going down a staircase, and you know how you just feel that slide in your lower back and you throw your back out when you missed that step, or you thought there was one extra step and there wasn't, and so you stepped too hard and you go to your chiropractor? That's an accident. This year I ripped the nail off of my pinky finger, and I'm really, really pathetic. I can't handle the sight of blood, especially my own, so I had to go to urgent care. Yeah, I'm that person. Anyways, that was an accident. Broken bones, obviously, sprained ankles, any of those kinds of things, they're all accidents. And so our kiddos, as they're in sports and that kind of thing, or roughhousing with each other, all those kinds of things are accidents. So here's how it works. When you first go to the doctor, whatever appointment, wherever you go for your first appointment following your injury, whether it's the emergency room, urgent care, your general physician, let's see here, a specialist, it really doesn't matter, chiropractor, acupuncturist, it doesn't matter. Wherever you go for your first appointment following that injury, make sure to state to that physician how you got injured, when you got injured, and what on your body got injured, and ask them to put those three things in the notes, because we access the chart notes to pay the claim, and AFLAC's looking for those specifics to be substantiated in those chart notes. So as long as those things are substantiated, it's an accident. So here's how it works. Your first appointment, no matter where it occurs, pays out $120 directly to you. Then there's a set schedule of payments from there on, coinciding with each piece of your treatment plan and what got injured on your body. So every bone in your body has a specific amount that it pays out. There's a surgery schedule for any kind of surgeries that you may need to have, that specifies the amount it pays out. Hospitalization stays, even transportation and lodging if you needed to have surgery 50 miles or greater from our place of residence for an accident. Let's see here. Follow-up appointments pay out, x-rays, MRIs, the list goes on. And so as you work through your treatment plan following that accident, Aflac will continue to pay you cash benefits. Okay? Use those benefits however you need. Like I said earlier, the money's yours. Use it how you need to. So the policy is incredibly comprehensive. Any kind of accident, as long as you can answer those 3 questions of how'd you get injured, when did you get injured, and what on your body, it's an accident. Okay. Let's see here, kiddos. Let's talk about maintenance of your policy. For those of you that have Aflac already, especially an accident policy, and we need to make any additions, deletions, anything like that, let me know. All those changes go through me. So let's say that you've gotten married this year and you want to add your spouse. Let me know and we can do so. Let's say that you've had your first child and we need to add kids to your accident policy. Let me know. We can do that. Or let's say you're on the other spectrum of life and your last kid has aged out at 26. We need to remove kids on your policy. No need to make any maintenance changes if you still have some kids that you want to cover, because you don't pay per kid, you just pay a rate for children, plural kind of thing. And so when that last kiddo ages off, let me know and we can remove kids. Okay, those of you that have an accident policy and I've said something along the way that spurred a memory that, oh, this happened this year and we need to file a claim. Let me know on that as well, because I help you with filing of your claims. I don't just sell you the policy, I service it as well. So give me a call and I can help guide and direct you through that process and what we need to access to file that claim. Okay, let's move on to cancer. So our cancer policy is actually what we were founded on 70 years ago. So we were founded in 1950, and we actually invented the industry of supplemental insurance with our cancer policy. Even back then, when an individual was diagnosed with cancer who had health insurance, even back then, health insurance simply wasn't enough. We found that they were experiencing great financial loss during that time. And so our founding fathers realized that we needed something more, okay, in addition to health insurance. And that's where they dreamed up supplemental insurance. And so since then, the need for Aflac has not dissipated. In fact, it's only increased. It's increased for 2 reasons. One, our co-payments and our deductibles have only grown. So our patient responsibility, our burden that we bear, has only grown over time. The other situation that has occurred is that we have, sorry, it's the burden of working at home. UPS comes and knocks. Apologize. The other situation that's occurred is that we have a higher frequency of diagnosis of cancer. So in the past, we used to say, hey, if cancer runs in the family, let's have a conversation. Anymore, that's out the window, because now 1 out of every 2 newly diagnosed cases of cancer have no family history behind them. And so everybody's kind of eligible. 1 in 2 men will be diagnosed with cancer. 1 in 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer. And the nice part about it is that technology's come a long ways. Medical advancements have made leaps and bounds, and we're living through cancer diagnosis and treatments. The problem is, what's the state of our financial affairs after that? Okay, and that's why I'm passionate about Aflac's cancer policy. So here's how it pays out. When you're first diagnosed with cancer, internal cancer, you're diagnosed, we send in your pathology report. Aflac will pay you your initial diagnosis benefit. It begins at $4,000, and it's a building benefit. It builds every year you're undiagnosed with cancer by $500. So let's say you're diagnosed 10 years down the road. You're going to get a check from Aflac for $9,000 right out of the gate, before you've even started your treatment. You've just simply been diagnosed. And the reason that Aflac gives you that influx of cash before you've begun your treatment plan is we want you to have the cash in hand to access the very best treatment plan available, not just what's available locally. So to that end, we'll literally pay you to go get a second opinion. We will pay transportation and lodging if it's in Seattle or the Mayo Clinic, anywhere that requires you to have travel greater than 50 miles from your place of residence to the facility. So we really want you to access the very best treatment available. We'll pay you a set schedule of payments coinciding with your treatment as you work through your cancer treatment, wherever it may be at. Whether you come home and receive it locally or you go to the specialist, and you're constantly traveling, we'll pay it. So what happens is it's a set schedule of payments coinciding with that treatment. So regardless of whether your treatment consists of chemotherapy, radiation, experimental treatment, hospitalization stays, surgeries, reconstructive surgeries, stem cell transplant, bone marrow transplant, egg harvesting and storage, we run the gambit. We pay out benefits for every piece of your treatment plan as you work to make yourself whole again and healthy. So that being said, I like to remind people, those cash payments come into you directly. Use them as you need them. Because here's what we often forget, or we don't realize until we've gone through it, is that when somebody is diagnosed with cancer, there's out-of-pocket costs associated with their treatment plan that will never be covered by health insurance. Things like transportation and lodging. Even if your treatment isn't available locally, your insurance will never pay transportation and lodging. Aflac does. The other thing that we really come through on is when you're going through cancer, you're going to have a time loss from work. And if you don't have enough sick leave and vacation leave booked up, you may have a loss of income in your household. Or let's say that you're the one diagnosed with cancer and you're too ill to be able to take care of yourself, and you need to have your spouse at home taking care of you. And let's say they don't have sick leave and vacation leave on the books. Well, they're going to have a loss of income as well. And so we see single loss of income, if not dual loss of income, often associated with cancer treatment. And so that's really where the need for Aflac is derived from, is the fact that income oftentimes dries up during that time frame. And so we need to make sure that money is still flowing into the household. So let's see here. I think I've covered everything on that. Those of you that have a policy, a cancer policy, please don't forget to do your wellness benefit. So we pay you to go and stay preventative. So pap smear, mammogram, colonoscopies, biopsies, PSA blood tests. I'm trying to think of all the other ones. I think I've hit the big ones. Anyways, we'll pay you to go have those annual exams. We'll pay everybody that's covered on the policy, even kids. So if they had to have a chest x-ray, that's another one. Even if the chest x-ray is because, let's say there was an accident and the doctor wanted to make sure that there's not a broken bone or a collapsed lung, it really doesn't matter the reason why the test is performed. It's a cancer screening test, and Aflac will pay you your wellness benefit for that. So don't forget to file those. Let's see here. Price, that's what I forget. Sorry, I knew I was forgetting something. So individual coverage is the same cost as one parent family because kids are free on the cancer policy until they're 26. It's pretty cool. So your individual coverage or one parent family coverage is $39 a month. And your two parent family coverage or policyholder and spouse or significant other, because like I said, you don't have to be married, sorry, is $69 a month. Okay, so please consider picking up the policy. It's one of those things that I can't sell you the policy after the diagnosis has come, and the diagnosis comes through a biopsy. So ladies, even if you feel a lump in your breast and you think, hey, I might have breast cancer, I can sell you the policy. You could have even had a mammogram and the doctor can say, I want you in here for a biopsy. I think you might have breast cancer. I can sell you the policy. You just can't have had a biopsy, okay? So you can have all the symptoms of cancer somewhere in your body and your doctor may want you to come in for some tests pronto. I can still sell you the policy. You have a 30-day wait period to be diagnosed with cancer. So as long as you can wait the 30 days, I can cover it, okay? So it's really pretty cool in that capacity. If you've had cancer in the past, as long as you are 5 years cancer-free, so that includes the treatment of it, but as long as you're cancer treatment-free for 5 years, I can sell you the policy, okay? So it's an amazing policy. It pays out beautifully. I've been selling Aflac for over 9 years, and I've done way too many cancer claims to count, but I can tell you that I've never been disappointed by the payout. So please consider that. Okay, let's move on. The last two policies I want to talk about are my life planning events. I couple them for planning events like having a baby or needing to have a surgery, a procedure that will have you out of work for a while. So, short-term disability pays your wages when you're unable to work, either due to an off-the-job injury or an illness. And the hospitalization policy pays out benefits when you have a procedure done in the hospital, and specifically are there overnight. So let's say that you want to have a baby. As long as you can wait 6 weeks to conceive, I can sell you the policy. You can't currently be pregnant, but it will pay out your maternity leave when you're home having that baby. Now, here's the really cool thing about it is whether you have sick leave and vacation leave that you're going to plan on using during that time of maternity leave, you can still have AFLAC disability, and it feels like you're double dipping, but it's totally legal. You can do both. In addition to that, the new Washington State, and I want to not call it Family Medical Leave Act because that's not what it is, but it's the disability, the Family Medical Leave Disability pot for Washington State employees. If you're not pulling your sick leave or vacation leave, you could be pulling that. You can also pull AFLAC and that at the same time. And so again, it feels kind of like you're double dipping. Totally legal, totally okay within the boundaries. You can't pull your sick leave and vacation leave and then the Washington State Leave Act at the same time, but you can pull either one of those and disability through AFLAC. So that's really cool. And it's not exclusive to having a baby. It's also any kind of medical leave situation, a cancer diagnosis even and treatment, or knee replacement. And that's kind of where I was going was the next example. Let's say that you're living with a bum knee and the doctors have told you, hey, you really need to have that replaced in the next 5 years or so. So if you're not planning that surgery anytime soon, if you're like, yeah, we're going to push that one out for the 5 years mark, now's not the time to pick up the policies. But if you're thinking that you're going to have that surgery, in the next 2 years, let's have a conversation because I can give you that policy as long as you can wait 1 year, 12 months for pre-existing conditions. So if you can live with that bum knee for 1 more year, I can pay the disability and the hospitalization benefits on those 2 policies to give you some coverage during that time of healing up, because knee replacements take some time to heal up and you may not be back to work right away, especially if you're in any kind of manual labor job. Desk work, you may be able to roll in and not have a problem, a couple days after your surgery. But any kind of surgery that's going to require you to be out for a while, or procedures, you're going to want to think about disability because it can really help compensate those lost earnings and that kind of thing. Let's see here. Hospitalization stay. So the way this policy works is if your procedure requires you to stay overnight in the hospital, it's a slam dunk. It's a good policy. It's going to pay out handsomely. For a 2-night hospital stay with surgical benefits and everything, it's going to pay about $2,500. If you're needing just like a simple ACL surgery, I hate to say simple, it's not simple, but it's a same-day surgery. Your hospitalization benefits are not going to be robust enough to warrant picking that policy up. So it's things like a hip replacement, a knee replacement, having a baby, also in line with that hysterectomy. Any of those kinds of procedures are going to have you in the hospital for a few days, and so it's definitely a policy I'd pick up in those situations. That policy is $76 a month for individual coverage. On the disability policy, I can't really give you a quote simply because it's based on your age, it's based on your income, and there's a couple other variables in coverage, like the length of time you're covered or the wait period in which you have to wait once your disability begins to draw benefits. And so we'll work through those details and I can give you a quote. If you're interested in it and you want to find out some details before committing to meeting with me, that's totally fine. You can email me your date of birth, your income, and tell me you're interested in disability and here's kind of what you're looking to have done and why you need it to be covered, or why you need to cover yourself. Apologize. I can give you some feedback and that kind of thing. So please don't hesitate to reach out and at least ask for more information. I apologize that we're not face-to-face and I can't have a question-answer situation here. So I really wanted to drive home that please reach out to me. I'm available email, text message, phone call. And then in person too. I have an office downtown that I'll schedule appointments with you guys for enrollment purposes and that kind of thing. So with that being said, let's see here, I just want to make sure I covered everything. I think I did. Okay, so I'm going to ask Krista to provide my email for you guys in a link because it's wordy. I apologize. It's Elizabeth underscore Stroh at us.aflac.com. I told you it was wordy. And then my phone number is 509-301-7384. So don't hesitate to reach out and give you more information, get you signed up, that kind of thing. So, all right. I hope to see you guys next year face to face. I miss seeing everybody. I miss being on campus. And so, yeah. So have a great day. I hope everybody's staying healthy, and I'll talk to you later.